Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herold here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and Merry Christmas. I didn't see you guys yesterday. I did see you Christmas Eve, but I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you all got everything you possibly could have asked for. I know I did. Had a good time. Kind of low key though. Kids came by for a few hours, got them their presents. Santa came and gave them presents, then just hung out with the girlfriend, watched football, watched Stranger Things, and oh my gosh, Stranger Things went so gay, so woke. They've had this subtle like gay undertones throughout the whole series, but yesterday in one of their episodes, I think the finale comes out like New Year's or something, and most people probably don't even care. You may not even watch Netflix, but that was like one of the one series I had started before I woke up and got into this stuff, and I always kept like going back to it, but I may not care at all anymore because of what they did. They like had one of the main characters come out and like sit his entire family down, and like this is perfect. This is exactly what people want at Christmas, right? You're releasing these episodes on Christmas, hype it all up, and this character sits all his friends and family down and like, I'm just like you guys in every way, except I'm gay. It's like, yeah, bro, we don't care that you're gay. Just stop being such a faggot about it. So dumb. Anyway, that's what I did yesterday. I find all shows fake and gay. Yeah. Got the regulars in the chat. Any super interesting Christmas stories you guys got for me? Maggie Bundy, my Christmas was magical. It's good. Elf Boy, John, I have family watching this morning. They are new to Badlands. Please don't embarrass me. Thanks. Merry Christmas. Elf Boy. Well, no promises. I hope they're okay with swearing because sometimes I'll swear. Elf Boy usually comes to the chat in really good moods, and then he leaves super upset. That's usually my goal of every single episode. Oh yeah, silver went over $75. We'll talk about that. You know, I started the show or going into the show like there's not much to talk about. I mean, not a whole lot of news, but there is some things we'll get into for sure. Let's start with our sponsors of today's show, and that is actually River Bitcoin. So this will be an easy one. Bitcoin right now, let me refresh. 87,000. It was up above 88,000 this morning. It's already down to 87,000. Still buying opportunities, in my opinion. Badlandsmedia.tv/river. And if you get cryptocurrency Bitcoin, you got to put it on a cold storage wallet. And that's badlandsmedia.tv/trezor, TREZOR. Gold and silver were both killing it. This was this morning. I haven't refreshed it, so I'm about to. But these are, I believe, are all-time highs for both. 4,500 plus for gold, $75.50 for silver. Let's see if they've changed. Ooh, silver's up to $76.84 now. I told you last week, guys, get yourself some gold and silver, badlandsgold.com. Hope you guys listened. Physical gold and silver. These numbers are looking pretty tasty right now. And I don't see it stopping. You know, I'm not like super smart when it comes to that financial stuff. Like I can dabble. I know enough to be dangerous. I did take a bunch of financing business classes, economics classes in college, but the silver price, I still think this is so low. I think we see 100 plus eventually. I'm not saying like 20 years. I'm saying 2026. I think we can see it. Not financial advice. Speak to a financial advisor. No update on the Doge website. Going on 3 months now, so no surprise there. And no update on the presidential website. So Trump's been pretty boring in terms of executive action, but he has some great True Social posts we're going to go through. Also, he dropped some more bombs on some peeps. So we'll see what happens with that. I accidentally got some silver. Gracie, how do you accidentally get some silver? I bought a box of miscellaneous items for $3 and had a set of sterling silverware in it. There you go. See, if you melt those down, They might be worth something. Cat Q Patriot. John, FYI, Doge ended and was taken over by the OPM. They just need to take the website down. Get a nice, quiet Christmas. Well, until they take the website down, I'm going to keep telling you all how they haven't updated it. And for an entire government branch, like a department, that has self-described themselves as efficient, the Department of Government Efficiency, it is not very efficient to leave a website up that you are not going to be using. Just saying. I read people are cashing out of Bitcoin and buying metals. That's interesting. What is the intrinsic value of gold and silver? None. Scarcity is all. Which, yeah, that's why Bitcoin, obviously, it's the only like actually provably scarce anything there is. We have no idea how much gold and silver is out there. And what happens when, was it General Quast when I was doing an interview with him? He's like, we can go to asteroids and start mining gold there. Maybe that was Elon Musk in an interview somewhere. Going to Mars to mine gold. Like, the value of any of this stuff is only the value we put on it, right? I bought a tube of ASE. It's the only way to go if you want to guarantee you'll get your money back because it's the most recognizable coin in the world. Well, isn't that interesting? Gfont is 119. Why is it every other day I'm pissed I didn't buy silver? Wait a week and sell for about 10% profit after the premium. You're probably pissed because every day I remind you of the price and it keeps going up. But yeah, let's talk about some Trump True Social. He went on a frenzy this weekend, or I guess it's not the weekend. It feels like a Monday today, but it's just a holiday. But he went on a frenzy the last couple of days, like retweeting all sorts of stuff. One of my buddies, Storm Has Arrived, got a retweet in here somewhere. I don't even think I'm going to go through all these because it would take forever. But oh hey, we talked about this the other day on Wednesday. But this was his Merry Christmas wish to everybody. And I said this over Thanksgiving. I say this every time there's a holiday. I love how he does this because he will wish Merry Christmas to everybody. And then he will use that opportunity to totally trash somebody. It might be the Democrats. It might be, in this case, the Democrats and people who went to Epstein Island or whatever. People calling for the release of the Epstein files. Some years it's terrorists. Some years it's, who knows? You never know what you're going to get with these Christmas messages, but they're always hilarious. Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. And I think that's a Snoop Dogg comm, because yesterday Snoop sung at the halftime show for the Vikings game, and he has a song, Drop It Like It's Hot. So drop him like a dog. That has to be a Snoop Dogg comm. I don't know what it means, but it's comm for sure. Falsely claimed that they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it became fashionable to do so. When their names get brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one lowlife Republican Massey, yeah, Massey's a douche with this whole thing. You guys, you know the drill. I've said this before, but if you go and search his Twitter profile for him mentioning the Epstein files, he did not mention it a single time. Actually, okay, I lied. There's one time he did in like 2022, and it was only sarcastically because one of his comments that somebody in his replies said, "You should be demanding the Epstein files," and he responded, "I demand the Epstein files," like being sarcastic, being an asshole. It's the only time he ever cared until it became a political weapon he could use and capitalize on against Trump. Anyway, and it is revealed that they are Democrats all. There will be a lot of explaining to do. Much like there was when it was made public that the Russia hoax was a fictitious story, a total scam, and had nothing to do with Trump. The failing New York Times, among many others, was forced to apologize for the bad and faulty election reporting, even to the point of losing many subscribers due to their highly inaccurate and fake coverage. Now the same losers are at it again, only this time so many of their friends, mostly innocent, will be badly hurt and reputationally tarnished. But sadly, that's the way it is in the world of corrupt Democrat politics. Enjoy it. Maybe your last Merry Christmas, President Donald J. Trump. So does this mean that their next Christmas won't be merry? Or does this mean they're not going to be alive for the next Christmas? Double meanings exist. We could look at this bicamerally. But there was a story I want to find. I don't know where it is in my headlines or my tabs, but Oh yeah, here we go. Just when you thought the Epstein story couldn't get any better, they have now found 1 million more additional Epstein documents. We're going to be getting Epstein releases, like chunk releases. For, who knows? We're going to get these for like decades. They're just going to keep finding random rooms, broom closets with documents in them. They're just going to keep giving them out to us. It's going to be great. People are going to be freaking out over these forever. Dr. Fu Pepper says, I always start the show a few minutes late, but I can't start my afternoon without hearing the theme song from the Daily Herald. Hell yeah, man. Me too. Ash 1776, Snoop Dogg comms are secondary, but very special meanings of dog comms for stoners. There we go. Over 100 pages a week. Burn bags are full of them. You're right, Elf Boy. That's when we'll know that the documents are really, really good and really super real, is when they find them in burn bags. That's when you know it's a big deal. Let's see here. They announced that they uncovered more than 1 million documents potentially related to the Jeffrey Epstein case, and will need more time to fulfill the release of the files ordered by Congress. In a post to X, the Justice Department said it received the documents from the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and the FBI, but it may take a few more weeks before they can be processed and released to the public in accordance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. This is another freaking rerun, isn't it? Didn't Pam Bondi, like the initial, remember when Pam Bondi sent that letter to Kash Patel? It's like she got the Epstein files, they were on her desk. She gave those files via binders to all those social media influencers. And then afterwards, didn't she come out and was like, oh, I clearly don't have everything. And it was the Southern District of New York who had to give her more files. So now, is this in addition to those files? Like, who is the archivist? Archivist? Who is the one responsible for documents at the Southern District of New York? Because this person is really bad at their job. Traditionally, the worst. Doesn't know where anything is. Whoever's running the evidence locker in New York needs to be. It's probably an immigrant. For being totally honest, it's probably an illegal alien. Quiet Coney, nothing of substance is getting done. Probably not. Sometimes feels that way, don't it? Fixed Bayonet, I never thought I'd be sick of hearing about Epstein, but here we are. Here we are indeed. I'm sick of it too. We got another one here. So yeah, Trump bombed a bunch of Nigerians. Tonight, in my direction, as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria. They have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. I'm wondering what an imperfect strike would look like. But we'll never see it because we only do perfect ones. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. I mean, it's cool. Like, I don't want Christians to be murdered, slaughtered. And I'm no fan of terrorism either. I don't mind them getting blown up. But are we going to have a war now in Nigeria? What do we call people of Nigeria? I'm pretty sure it's not Niger, right? Nigers. Not to be like politically incorrect or anything. I'm pretty sure that's not it. If you guys know, let me know in the chat. Entire year, just stall text until the election. Yep. 2026 is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be interesting. Next week we are doing our instead of the Power Hour, in lieu of the Power Hour, we're gonna be doing our New Year's Eve special. But 2026 I'm excited about because there's going to be some economic stuff that's going to be great, I think. But there's going to be a lot of stuff. Guys, I'm obviously joking about the Nigers thing. have to be careful, like saying that because I don't want to actually say that the wrong way. But yes, I know it's Nigerians. But like the boiling point that we're getting close to reaching. I feel like a lot of people have been kind of pushed to the brink and their patience is worn thin, which I think is a good thing. Like I want that. I want more people to be upset about what's going on in this country. That's a win. The more people we get upset, the more people that are ready to like do what it takes to opt out, and maybe we actually see some sort of change. And that's what I think they want from us. Skeptical. Sometimes they are called future engineers. You Drew 1111 line. You were so unprofessional. Glad you didn't get into the White House press corps. I'm not trying to be professional here. Like if you want professionalism, you can go watch Fox News and CNN, and I don't mind that at all. My goal is not professionalism. My goal is authenticity and being as honest as I can about the things I know. Unprofessional. Glad you didn't get the White House press corps. Yeah, but at least the White House press corps kept to their promise with new media, right? New media. Silver people do not sell. I can't imagine. Silver's kind of hard to sell anyway, especially if you get physical silver. Like it's not easy to sell that stuff. You can go to pawn shops, but it's like annoying. You have to like get in your car. If you live in a cold weather climate, like you have to brave the winter weather to go to a place. And like, what happens if you get robbed on the way? But with your Bitcoin, that can't happen. You don't have to leave your house to sell Bitcoin. You shouldn't sell it in the first place, but yeah, nobody's gonna be selling it. Skeptical John, did you see the X post where Laura Loomer is Alex Jones' handler? She mentions getting to him about Israel. I did not see that. It doesn't necessarily surprise me. But you guys should send me a link to that. I don't mind reading it. Dude just made themselves a punchline. Yeah. Like who wants professionalism from their news people? The people that are professional are none of them can speak the truth about anything. The professional ones they're professional liars. All they do is propagandize you. John, the whales are getting squeezed and will pay anything to deliver or delver on futures. Delver? Is that the right word? Sell on eBay and you get a 10% plus premium from people listening to me for the first time don't understand my humor. Yes, I am very sarcastic. That's probably true. But that's an acquired taste. I am an acquired taste. I'm like a fine wine. Or I guess fine wines probably aren't that acquired. Those probably taste good right off the. Those probably a very professional tasting. Tastes real good for a sip. I don't know why I can't think of something that's like an acquired taste that sucks at first sip, but you're like later like, oh, I can get used to that. Oh, maybe the yerba mate tea, which I drink all the time. I love yerba mate. That's an acquired taste. Some people don't like that taste. I love that taste. Either you like Vienna sausages or you don't. Beer, yeah. Beer is John tastes like whipped out. Tang. I'm not drinking Tang. You guys are funny. You guys are in a mood today. You guys are in the post Christmas mood. I love this. Jon Sarcastic Herold. Yeah, that's my middle name. John, you're more like moonshine. Man, I feel like. See, that's the thing. If you drink too much moonshine, you'll probably go blind. But if you watch too much Daily Herold, I can promise you won't go blind. At least if you do, it's not because of me. It's probably because of some setting on your monitor. What is the truth about South Africa? I don't trust mainstream media. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember when Trump had that. Didn't Trump have, was that the Nigerian president that he had at the Oval Office when he was like showing him the killings? Trump Nigerian president. I'm pretty sure that was him, wasn't it? Let's see if I can find it. I'm not finding. Does anybody remember who that was? I don't think it was Nigerian now. Trump. Oh, let's try Africa. This guy. Imagine even trying to predict a week, let alone a month ago, that Trump would corner South Africa's president in the Oval Office in front of the press, make him watch videos of South African politicians calling for white genocide.
It's right behind you. Johan.
Nothing this parliament can do, with or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South Africa, occupy land. That's who we are. Honorable member, can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament? Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Okay. So that's the president of South Africa, which is down here. Hence the name South Africa. It's the southern part of Africa. Nigeria is way up here. And this is where we bombed some ISIS terrorism. Bombed it right out of there. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Africa. I don't follow it nearly as close as Ghost does. Don't plan on ever visiting. Very mineral-rich country. I'm assuming. I wonder if, you know what? The national security strategy, when it talked about Africa, it talked about, instead of like, hey, let's just stop sending these money to these NGOs that are committing fraud with it anyway. Let's start like making some actual partnerships with some of these countries and some of these businesses in those countries so that we can reap the benefits of the rare earth materials and minerals. And I wonder if we're going to see an economic announcement at some point in the near future with something to do with Nigeria or somewhere down here. Wouldn't surprise me. So that's what I think is going on. Richard Rohr says, John, this is just theater for normies. Yeah, but like my buddies, the normies that I know, the normies in my life that I know and love, they don't care about this. I mean, I pay attention to the news and I barely care about this. Sassy Gal, I've been to 7 African countries all over the continent. Should visit. Well, I'm a Christian. I don't want to get killed. They're killing Christians down there. Jihad is infesting our cities. Unati OC says, the trend of killing the white landowners and stealing their land really started and had been going on in Zimbabwe. Okay, well, where's that on the map? That's down here. I love playing with Google Earth. But if I'm being totally honest, like if I didn't have these labels on here, I wouldn't be able to name hardly any of these countries. I could probably name South Africa. I'd nail that one. And Madagascar. I know that from my days of playing Risk. But the rest of these, I could get Egypt, I bet, too. The rest of these, I probably would have had a hard time with. Oh, hey, they got New Minneapolis over here, New Minnesota, Somalia. John, just going blackface, and I'll be fine. I'll bring Alpha with me. So why cover fake news? That's the whole point of the show, man. I talk about fake news. I make fun of it. Some of the stuff is interesting. Some of it's not. You're the one complaining, Richard Rohr, but you're the one watching me cover fake news. Speaking of fake news, we got some actual other stories we can go. I'm pretty sure me and Bernie Bright or somebody talked about this the other day. I think it was Wednesday's show. Ex-War Department official warns terrorists may one day aerosolize fentanyl, praises Trump's move. The booming illicit fentanyl trade has made deadly opioid ingredients far more accessible around the globe, greatly increasing the risk that a terror group or rogue state actor will one day try to aerosolize the drug to create mass casualties, a former top Department of War official told Just the News. I know I talked about this. Maybe it was on this show when they made it a weapon of mass destruction. But yeah, so is this fear-mongering? Is fentanyl just the new nuclear weapon? I don't know. I called this the other day, the cycle of the peace talks, and I mean, it's not. I'm not saying like I'm not trying to toot my horn because this is just repeating itself. This is so easy to predict. Zelensky on Wednesday said he's ready to make concessions, and I told you I was like, okay, well, next part of the move is Zelensky goes to the United States, meets with Trump, and then after that meeting, there's some sort of conflict and whatever, and we get further away from peace, then we get closer again. It's like it ebbs and it flows. We get close to peace, then we get further away and close to peace, and things change. And one of these times they'll snap the cycle, but for now, it just keeps repeating the cycles. And it's been this since Trump was inaugurated, since he won the election. It's been going back like it's the same cycle over and over. And now Trump is going to Florida to meet with, or Zelensky's going to Florida to meet with Trump, trying to finalize the peace deals. And then he'll have a call with Putin, I bet. He'll probably have a call with Putin Saturday, is my guess. Because typically he talks to Putin before he meets with Zelensky. So there'll be a phone call. We'll get a true social post about it. Call went great. Things are good. I'm going to meet with him in the near future. Once we can figure out some details, we'll announce that soon. And then they'll end up postponing that meeting because something goes wrong with the peace talks. Just over and over again. Razor Sharp, I just had to watch the longest drug ad. Don't you get a skip button? Wait, what about Cole? Who's talking about Cole? I had an inflamed hernia recently. I was hoping somebody would tell me about their hernias. Just getting bored talking about politics. Received 4 diluted and fentanyl. Unimpressive. Doctor tried to push down the inflammation mass. Hurt like hell. I've heard those aren't fun. Hernias. Never had one myself. Why isn't ICE addressing Muslim issue in this country? That's a good question. Bravest, Brian hit 9,000 again this morning. I think he got up to like 12,000. He was featured on Rumble. And the feature definitely helps. If the sovereign alliance is real, this is from Spetzel, then figuring out why Russia-Ukraine is still going is the key. Yeah, there's obviously stuff in the background that they don't have full control over something. Oh, people are being bitchy because they got coal in their stockings. My son got chocolate coal. Yeah, Chris does a good job. I did finally read the Supreme Court ruling on the Chicago National Guard. It's fascinating. The dissents, I think, are the most interesting part to me. We're going to be talking about that on Saturday. I know Chris read it too. I already covered this story. We'll keep going. Looks like is the East Coast going to get hit with a big storm? Is that true? More than 23 million people in the Northeast are under winter storm warnings as heavy snow and ice hits the region. It's actually pretty nice here. A little gloomy looking out, but it's not like 27 degrees. So it's nice. It's nice to hear that other people are getting worse weather than me. Here is a story from CNN. Trump promised aggressive housing reform next year. Here's what to expect from home prices in 2026. And keep in mind the caveat with this is everybody obviously wants cheaper homes, right? If you're looking for a new home, like if you are in an apartment or a first-time home buyer or whatever it is, you want to get a home as cheap as possible. But if you are already a homeowner and look to sell your home, and none of this is brain science, rocket surgery, you want the highest price possible because you want the most money. And Trump talked about this the other day when he's like, I want to make homes cheaper for the first-time home buyers, but how many people in this country, their entire like net worth and their wealth is in their home? Like that's a lot of people. That's their retirement. Like they might have some 401ks, but if they got a home super cheap back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever it was, the value of that keep going up. They can sell it for like 10x the value now. They do that. They get into a nursing home, and like that's where their retirement is. That's a lot of the wealth in this country, and that's a conundrum. How do you make cheaper homes for first-time home buyers while not like totally destroying the wealth and net worths of older individuals? And I do not envy the position he's in to try to figure that out. But anyway, next year may mark a turning point in the housing market after several years in the deep freeze with high borrowing costs and soaring prices, locking many Americans out of home ownership. Economists say conditions may begin to shift in 2026. By next year, many economists are optimistic about the housing market. Many anticipate that rising incomes will start to outpace home prices, making homes feel more affordable for many Americans. I hope that's true. And this is the whole growth thing that Trump's been touting, we've been talking about. Redfin has dubbed 2026 the Great Housing Reset. Is that like, can people just dub 2026 whatever they want? Like, did who gave Redfin the authority to dub what 2026 is going to be? Because if it's open for debate, I want to throw Badlands' name in. Like, what is Badlands going to call 2026? The year of the retard? I feel like that's been every year since at least 2018, maybe before. So I don't know if we want to use that again, but I feel like we can come up with a better name. The year of the co-founder, maybe. But open to suggestions. We'll put it on a shirt. 2026, the year of the something. Best idea gets. We'll put it on a shirt. We'll even give you a free shirt if we use your suggestion. But there's something in here I wanted to actually talk about. Between the start of 2020 and the third quarter of 2025, home prices climbed nearly 55% nationwide. That's insane. That is insanity. Especially with interest rates where they are. But so many people got such good interest rates back in 2020 COVID. Yeah, anyway, I guess there's nothing really interesting there that I want to talk about. And year of the retard, if that's what we go with, that was my suggestion. 375, is that your interest rate? The year we end the Fed, I wish. The year of soft disclosure. We could, that's a good suggestion, Rebel Nader. Actually, I like that. 2026 year of the, and then leave a blank. And then you guys can fill in your blank however you want. And if you use one of those markers that are like washable, like Crayola or whatever, you could change that every time you go out, depending on the fake news cycle. '25 was, yeah. I like I said, I'm excited to talk about 2025, like a little retrospective during our New Year's show, and then talk about next year. Ooh, silver's up to $77 an ounce. Holy cow, guys. Just me talking about silver on this show to all of you has got silver up even more. Another all-time high. I take full credit, full responsibility. I am the co-founder of Silver Prices now. You are all welcome. Hope you got some. Oh, let's see what else we got here. The Trump-class battleship faces a large obstacle in its way, reality. I love when Trump comes out with an awesome idea. I mean, look at that poster board in the background there. Who's going to want to go to war with the United States when we have a ship that crazy looking? It's amazing. But yeah, he's got the new Trump-class warships, and the mainstream media, like they do with everything, they pretend to be injecting, like, I got to inject some realism into this. There's just no way that this is a good idea. It's a bad idea. But every single time they do that, Trump ends up pulling it off, and they never talk about it again. And nobody ever talks about how retarded the mainstream media is with all of their takes, always. They just keep going and going and going, and people keep tuning in, moving the goalposts. But anyway, on Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled plans for a new Trump-class battleship. By the way, my son got the game Battleship for Christmas, and I played him in a game and totally kicked his ass. So that was a highlight of Christmas Eve, that was Christmas Eve. declaring it would be the fastest, the biggest, and by far 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. And see, I don't even know what level current battleships are at, but anything 100 times that's some scary stuff. Like, I already feel like if I went head to head with a battleship one-on-one, it would destroy me. But now, like, think of me against a battleship times 100. It would destroy me 100 times over even. That's scary stuff, guys. He hailed the ships, some of the most lethal surface warfare ships, promising they would help maintain American military supremacy and inspire fear in America's enemies all over the world. I mean, honestly, that's what warfare is these days. It's very little about actual overt warfare. It's more about just like, we're going to scare you into doing what you're told. It's kind of like parenting. You just scare your kids into doing what they're told. You don't actually have to beat them. Unless you're Adrian Peterson. But there's one glaring problem. Battleships have been obsolete for decades. The last was built more than 80 years ago, and the U.S. Navy retired the last Iowa-class ships nearly 30 years ago. Is that true? We haven't updated our battleships for 80 years, and the mainstream media is trying to write an article about, like, why are we doing this? My reason for not wanting to do it is I'm sick of paying anything in tax dollars. But if your reason is like they're obsolete because we just haven't updated them in a while or in 80 years, if anything, that means we are due for an update. We do need new destroyers. Like, what are you talking about? While labeling the new surface combatants as battleships could be a misnomer, defense experts say that there remain several gaps between Trump's vision and modern naval warfare. A future administration will cancel the program before the first ship hits the water. I don't know. Okay, this story wasn't as exciting as I thought it'd be. We don't have any battleships, but few countries do. Am I thinking destroyers? Battleships last saw combat in 1991. Oh, whatever. John sunk my battleship. Not destroy it. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Bravest. Trump needs to consult me about making this dang country fun again. You're not having fun. If you're not having fun with the news cycle, you're doing it wrong. We could lower our taxes by 95% if they get rid of the fraud and stop sending our money out of country. Yeah, the level of fraud. I hope the year 2026 is the year of the fraud exposure. That would be really cool. And that's just like broad scale. It doesn't have to just be financial. It could be election fraud. It could be any of that stuff. I know we know that stuff exists, but and maybe we need to talk about this in a new way also, because when we say exposure, you know, we normally say for the normies, right? But I don't think the normies matter as much as people think they do. No offense to normies watching, but there are no normies watching this show. But the normies don't care. The normies do not care about any of this stuff. They really don't. And unless Trump is willing to take it to the level of it's going to impact all the normies so they have to care, I don't think he wants to do it that way. I don't think he's going to do it that way. So it can't be just about exposure, just fixing the fraud. Like, we don't need to tell the people or whatever. We don't need to live by the, you have to tell them, or you can't tell them, you have to show them, whatever. That was a terrible sentence. I'm sorry. But we don't have to live by that anymore. Let's just do it. Let's just show people. Stop talking about it. Minnesota seems to be a good example of fraud exposure or disclosure. Yep. That is one, I will say, my buddies in my text group, but it might just be because of the location, because it's so close to North Dakota. Like, me and my buddies, we go to Minnesota sometimes to golf, or we have in the past, not recently, but my brother lives in Minnesota. My friends have family in Minnesota. Minnesota is a place a lot of people go from North Dakota. And so, but the Minnesota fraud situation was one that my buddies did text about. It's one they're keeping tabs on anyway. But it's not just there. It's everywhere. Oh, John, buy a battleship mothership that deploys yachts, and we can do a GART sea battle. Ooh, that That sounds fun. But if we're going to do like a GART sea battle and realistically talk about what I can afford, we're going to have to rent paddle boats. It's probably not going to be on the ocean. But I like where your head's at. I like where this is going. This is an idea I can play with. By the way, guys, get your tickets aren't on sale yet, but they're going to be on sale. Maybe even, you know what? Let me ask Miss Bright if she can put those on sale. Maybe we'll launch them tomorrow. Because we got Nashville GART coming up. April 9th through the 12th. When can we put... Okay, sent off. Maybe they'll be on sale today even. By OnlyLands tonight. We'll see. Spetzel says, as we show state fraud, makes the case for decentralization. State funds, not federal. Yep. John is a Somali brother. No, my brother is not Somalian, but he's just living amongst them. Minnesota's a loser football team, but thanks for beating Detroit. Yeah, it's crazy. They go on a 4-game winning streak after they get eliminated from the playoffs. My brother-in-law told me that the Somali fraud has been known about for years. It's just taken this long to get the news nationally. That's the thing too. Like my brother in Minnesota, it was a couple of years ago. They were talking about how Minnesota had so much like excess in their budget, and they were trying to figure out what to do with it. Then all of a sudden, it's like gone in a matter of a year or two. Like, what happened to this? Like, what happened to all this money? And there's a fraud. Like there was clear fraud going on. Somali adjacent brother. We should just start calling all Minnesotan Somalians. I'm okay with that. I'll call my brother Somalian. He doesn't visit enough to get mad at me over it. So, and if I ever was like face to face with him and he was mad, I could easily outrun him. If he ever got a hold of me though, he would destroy me. He's way bigger than me, but you'd have to catch me first. Black Hat Destroyer, what are those dates again? GART is going to be on the anniversary of the start of the end of the American Civil War. That's why we chose that date, if that's true. April 9th through the 12th in Nashville. No way. Okay, if you're in Minnesota, I didn't mean you. I'm talking about the other people who don't watch the show that are in Minnesota. Yes, he's my younger brother. He is like 6'5". He is... I mean, depending on whether or not he's like eating well, he's anywhere from 230 to 260 pounds. He's a big boy. Ash, aren't we already doing that? I don't know. I don't know what we're already doing. But anyway, let me keep going here. Stop distracting me, you guys. I think we talked about the offshore stuff the other day. Virginia offshore wind developer sues over Trump administration order halting projects. They halted the project, calling it a national security concern. This is Dominion Energy, and now they're suing. Good luck with that. I can't imagine SCOTUS is going to side with them on it, but we'll see what happens. Won't spend too much time on it. Already talked about that story. Already talked about that. Did I already get through like all this stuff? I thought this was kind of silly, just that it's a headline. John Benet Ramsey case could benefit from new DNA technology as police renew commitment. Why are they trying to keep this story relevant? We talked about this on Basis Conspiracies a while back. There are some shenanigans afoot there for sure. But I don't know. Like, when are we going to get the headline that's like, Joan Benet Ramsey case could benefit from new time travel technology as police try to figure out who did it? Because they're always getting new technology. And they're always saying it helps with murder cases. I don't know how much of that is true. I already talked about that. I might be out of stories, guys. Oh, no, we could talk about the election one. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Georgia official responds to 315,000 ballots not properly signed in 2020. the reason I'm highlighting this story, I mean, we all know elections are fake. They're still Georgia, all these things. Next week, January 2nd, on Why We Vote, there's going to be this, what is his name? Stephen Ricker? And I think he's some election guy from Arizona. I don't want to totally butcher this. But if it's the guy I'm thinking of, he's like super balding, but he's like in denial about it. So he's got just like super thin pubes on top. Yeah, this guy. Look at that. Like just accept it. Go Tim Pool, wear the beanie, or shave it off, bro. Like this is some serious denial going on right here. But anyway, they're having this guy on for a discussion, not a debate. Don't want to scare him off. Don't want anything to happen like we had with what's his name, Patrick Byrne the other day. But it's going to be on next week. Should be interesting. This is the county recorder in Maricopa County from Arizona. Definitely partook in the 2020 shenanigans. Anyway, he's coming on to talk about some of this stuff, and it's going to be interesting. So make sure you guys tune in. Earlier this month, though, Fulton County acknowledged before the Georgia State Election Board that more than 130 tabulator tapes from the 2020 election were not signed. A lapse, officials said, involved about 315,000 ballots, and which brought renewed scrutiny and questioning of the results, even though multiple audits, including a hand count, affirmed the results. Maybe we're actually going to, maybe some court somewhere is actually going to acknowledge election fraud and see evidence of it. It's going to be crazy. He is a criminal, John. See, I can't remember. I think this is the guy that's very sue happy. And since I'm already in a lawsuit. Yeah, I know, Spetzel. I'm balding too. I'm in denial about that as well. But mine doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look that bad at all. And they credit my hair not falling out already is from the beard oil, actually, from Soft Disclosure. Because not only do I use it on my face, but then when I put my gel in, it's like still in my hands. And my hair is just thriving right now. The hair in my face and head is just thriving. My deodorants, my armpits, they're thriving as well. Just skincare in my life. It's amazing. CC, overall light thinning is not balding. That's true. Very true. Softdisclosure.com, guys. You should get some. I'm going to play the ad real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll chat with you guys for a little bit before I sign off, since I'm out of stories.
Soft Disclosure just dropped new favorites for the season. The lotion, your 5-ounce favorite, is still here. And now we've added full 11-ounce bottles. New Lavender Tea Tree Deodorant. Clean, calm, and effective. New Tallow Bars. Chamomile Lemon Rose and Naked. Rich moisture that actually works. And now the lineup is complete. Beard oil in unscented and spiced vanilla. Palo Lip Balms. Available in chamomile mint, vanilla, naked, and vanilla tangerine. Palo Bar Minis for pocket-ready hydration. Available in vanilla coffee and naked. And finally, lavender vanilla lotion. Clean, calm, and made to work. Visit softdisclosure.com. Use code Badlands and get 15% off. Soft Disclosure, for truth you can gift.
Softdisclosure.com, guys. You'll be supporting Badlands Media and 4 other American businesses, including Annie from Willow Wind Farms. It's great stuff. Elfboy says, John, the girls in the family say you're handsome and funny and will be tuning in when they get home. That's sweet, but I'm taken. So thank you, but no thank you. Where did I say that? Rub nicotine on your scalp. See, I'm at a place in my life right now where I feel like if I even touch my scalp the wrong way, hair's going to fall out. Like I don't let my kids touch. That scares me. So rubbing anything on my head other than like shampoo when I need to, it's a no-go. Can't do it. PJ Corgan, dang, I did not have John doing a show the day after Christmas on my bingo card. I do shows all the time. What are you talking about, PJ? And I'm pretty sure I said Wednesday, if you tuned in, that I will be doing a stream the day after Christmas. Especially because I don't have my kids this week. And my girlfriend's working, so if she's working, I might as well work too. How you doing in fantasy, by the way, PJ? I've not been too on the ball with that league. I took 5th in the Badlands one though. Not the Badlanders, but the Badlands one. So that's good. But I'm getting my butt kicked in the other league for 10th place. Oh my gosh. What a rough year. It's my own fault though. I didn't pay attention enough. But PJ, it doesn't look like you're going to win that league. Are you? Looks like Ty's going to win that league. Of course he is. The only one who think women think bald men are sexy are bald men. That's funny, and that's probably true. Anything else you guys want me to talk about? Otherwise, I can just like totally sign off now. But you guys have 9 minutes of me if you want it, if you can handle it. Only Lance tonight should be fun. If I were given an extra $1,776, I would use it to buy silver bullion. I'd probably split it between silver and Bitcoin because I still think both are underpriced. Ignore the gators, John. Who's being gay? I try to ignore the like I said earlier, and it comes down to the whole Stranger Things on Netflix thing. I don't care if people are gay. I don't care at all. People can choose to do whatever they want. It's when they start being faggots about it and in your face about it. That's when I hate it. And that has nothing to do with their actual sexuality. And you don't even have to necessarily be gay to be a faggot, in my opinion. Pardon my word. Does Badlands sell silver? Link please, badlandsgold.com. And I would speak with the representatives there and see if it's a good fit for you. Because depending on how much you're getting, it might not be with our sponsor. Just being real with you. Truth. Did I talk about the Truth Social merger? Are you talking about with TAE? Because I talked about that like a week ago. I buy some Donald J. Trump. Don't have any, and I'm optimistic about proton boron fusion. Yeah, I do have a little bit. Like, I don't remember when it was. I put like $500 into Robinhood because I had the app on my phone from back when I was a fundraiser. So I used to play penny stocks back then. I cashed it all out a long time ago, but I still had the app. And so I was like, I'm going to get some. I got some Rumble and I got some Donald J. Trump, and they have only gone down since I got them. But I also think, based on where things are going, not financial advice here, not investment advice, none of that stuff, but I do think those obviously have a much higher future. But yes, I did talk about that last week. Or earlier this week. Scott Adams has a great Epstein summary connection, some dots on his podcast yesterday. Yeah, prayers for him, by the way. He's I think he's still going through recovery. And there's been a couple scares for him recently. Elf Boy, who's on OnlyLans tonight? I don't know. Ash, are you going to be on OnlyLans tonight? Because probably Ash. But I haven't heard from anybody else. Cam Cooksey usually is the last minute, like, yeah, I'll be there. J-Triet, you're typically there. We'll try to get Alpha on tonight. Anybody's welcome. Little Peachy, not about TikTok. TikTok, that I think that is supposed to be finalized in January of this year, obviously this upcoming year. But yeah, they got the whole consortium stuff figured out with that. The Epstein saga is gay. Yes, it is. I agree. Topic for tonight. What is the difference between gay and retarded? We can get into that. But see, that's the easy one. It's the retarded and being a faggot. Like those are the things that are more closely, and like that could be defined, I think, or should be defined. Because it reminds me of the Michael Scott quote too. I wonder if I have that pulled up in here. I don't. Let me see if I can get this clip up. Hold for processing. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm going to have to find it on YouTube. So this will probably kick me off YouTube, honestly. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let me share my screen.
You don't call retarded people retards. It's bad taste. You call your friends retards when they're acting retarded.
And that's so true. And that's how we use it. And I feel like it's the same thing with the word faggot. Invite Josh to Badlands only, please. Or only lands. I'll see. I'll send him an invite. I own both stocks, also down. Watch X22 this morning with Devin Nunez. Yeah. I haven't watched X22 in a while. I have a hard time watching it, like anything from anybody. I just don't have time. I mean, the chat has kind of devolved now a little bit. Copper up 5% today. That's good. You think that's undervalued as well? I gotta say, I don't have any copper. Invite Dave. No, I'm gonna invite. No, I'll invite is Mike Benz. I'll see if he'll join tonight. No promises though, especially after Christmas. New K's, you're doing a show, huh? I didn't know you streamed. Okay, let's let me read the rants and I'll get you guys out of here. We got a few. G Fontes 119. I really wonder if the so-called, let me put this on the screen, if the so-called burn bags were already in the possession of the president, or what NARA and then the FBI desperately were after connected the dots on how and where to find these docs. Yeah, the burn bag stuff, my theory on it is whenever they say that, it's just a cover story. Just like when they raided Mar-a-Lago for classified documents, it was a cover story for wanting the Russia binder back. Like all the burn bag stuff is stuff that they already had, and they just need a story to disclose how they found them and released them, right? I think these are documents that were never going to be actually disappeared. It's all the worst stuff against the enemy, we're told, most of the time. Monty 710, John, did you get the package I sent? It said it made it to Bismarck. I don't know what you sent, but I think so. I got a few packages last couple days, so maybe. If you can hit me up on Twitter or Telegram to confirm, I'll let you know. And thank you, by the way, for the rant and whatever you sent. Razor Sharp, good to see you, Razor. Remember when Giuffre versus Maxwell court case 2 years ago and was on Court Listener? It was a New York judge. We learned a lot then. Yeah. Millions and millions of more documents coming out. We're never going to get to the bottom of that rug. K.O. Kelly says, anybody else paying attention to silver? I start every show talking about silver now. I'm paying super attention. I bet Cam can be on OnlyLans tonight. He's sleeping. It's like noon. It's 1 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock where he's at. And he's still sleeping? How late were you guys up? Anyway, okay, I'm done now. So I will see you guys tonight on OnlyLans. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Is anybody else live after me? I could probably raid you over. Let me look. It looks like Geopolitics might be going live. Yeah, I'm going to raid you guys over to Ghost so you can hang out with him for a little bit. So, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you tonight on OnlyLans. Have a great rest of your day after Christmas.
Let's get started. That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.